Yes, beta. We started the chapter, the third level by Jack Finney yesterday. And what we read in this chapter, the idea or the theme which the writer wants to convey, or the message which the writer wants to convey, that this third level is an escape from the harsh realities of life. Third level is referred to the stressed feelings and the insecurities of the modern world. The people live in a state of denial. They find peace in finding escape from the reality, as Charlie found here in this chapter, and he found a third level. But his friend Sam, who was a psychiatrist, he at the end we find that he also finds peace in that place, Galesburg. The name of the place mentioned is Galesburg, in which he reached, though in the beginning he did not admit this thing, but at the end we see that he also reached at that place. And sometimes it is very difficult to differentiate between the reality and fantasy. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम अपने imagination में खो जाते हैं, and we are not aware about the thing, whether we are in the real world or we are in the imaginary world. So we are not able to find the difference. हम बैठे बैठे ही कुछ सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं, तो हम इमेजिनरी वर्ल्ड में पहुंच जाते हैं. कभी हम अपने पास्ट की बातें सोचते हैं, कभी हम अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में सोचते हैं. एंड देन अगेन when somebody calls you, or you have some noise nearby, and you come back into the real world, into the present world. So it happens with all the human beings sometimes, and we are not able to find out the difference. So it's very difficult to find out the difference sometimes between the reality and the fantasy world, कि हम अपने ही ख्यालों में खोए होते हैं किसी टाइम पे, पता ही नहीं चलता हमें. So the theme what the writer wants to convey, particularly he focuses on the atrocities of the modern world, the problems, the difficulties, the struggle that we have to face in the modern world, which is full of insecurity, stress, fear, war, and hatred, where one feels caged or prisoned or locked, which are brought by the modern advancement. हमें ऐसा लगता है कि modern development की वजह से, modern advancement की वजह से हम अपने आप को ही एक दुनिया के अंदर हमने बंद कर लिया है, when we are not able to go anywhere. The third level is a story. It's about a 31-year-old guy named Charlie. You will read the introduction about him when he will explain you about his visit to this third level. But he ends up finding himself on the third level of the Grand Central Station. However, timetable itself suggests that the existing levels were only two. He was criticized by his friends and wife, who took him as an escapist. वो उसको क्या कहते हैं कि वो एक escapist है, वो real life से बचना चाहता है. So we read yesterday in the very beginning that it was talked to the presidents of New York Central, the New York, New Haven, and the Hartford railroads, and they all swear that there are only two levels, because the timetable was found of only two levels. There was no third level, whereas our author, Jack Finney, or Charlie, what name is given to him in the chapter, he assures this thing because he feels that he has been to the third level of the Grand Central Station. Then, when nobody was ready to believe him, he talked to his psychiatrist friend about this Grand Central Station, about the third level, and what the answer was given by his friend, that it was a waking dream wish fulfillment, that it was only his daydreaming, and he had some wish in his mind which he wanted to fulfill. That's why he has lost in his imagination, in his fantasy world. And his wife also started thinking that he has gone mad, he has got some problem in his brain, that's why he's talking like this, and he was very unhappy with this thing. Then his friend explained him that it is not only with him, it happens with the modern man, because the modern world is full of insecurities, full of worries and tensions, and everyone wants to escape from the real world, from the harsh realities of the world. So people wander here and there, they lost in their imagination. And the same happened with Charlie, who wander about on the third level at the Grand Central Station. Then he gives one more proof for this, that he wanted to escape from reality by telling him that he had the habit of stamp collections. According to the psychiatrist friend, those people who used to have these type of collections, who used to have these type of hobbies, they want to have a temporary relief from the real world. They want to have a temporary shelter from the real world. They want to be away from the real world and the harsh realities of this world for some time, because it cannot be permanent. You cannot while living in this world, you cannot escape from the real world. So it can be only a temporary shelter or refuge or escape. But the author, our character Charlie, does not agree with this thing. He says that his grandfather did not need any refuge from reality, because at the time of his grandfather, the life was very smooth, nice, and peaceful life those people were living. We in the modern time are full of hurries, tensions, and worries. We don't have peaceful life. We are always in hurry कि एक काम खत्म हो गया तो हमें दूसरा काम करना है, हमने ये चीज़ हासिल कर ली तो हमने वो लेनी है, हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है तो हम सोचते हैं कुछ बेशक गलत तरीका ही कोई ना अपना लें, बट वी शुड हैव ईच एंड एवरी फैसिलिटी, ईच एंड एवरी प्रिविलेज ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड दैट इज अवेलेबल. सो we are always under tension. But the people in the ancient time, they were not having these type of worries. They were satisfied with the things what they had. They never aspire for new things. There was not much development, not much technological things or the new things there. So people were happy with whatever they have, and they lead a very happy and peaceful life. So the writer says that it was not needed by his father, because his father was also having the habit of stamp collection. He says he started my collection, and from that he started this hobby of stamp collection, because his grandfather used to do. He says it's nice collection too. Coming to the second page, he says it is a nice collection too. Blocks of 4 of practically every US issue, first day covers, and so on. He says I have a good collection because it has started since his grandfather's time. तो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी कलेक्शन करी हुई थी, उसी को आगे चार्ले ने कंटिन्यू कर लिया, एंड ही हैज गॉट अ गुड कलेक्शन. इवन द यूएस इशू भी थे, मतलब यूएस के द्वारा जो इशू की गई थी स्टैम्प्स वो भी थी, जिसमें फर्स्ट डे कवर्स भी थे, एंड सो ऑन. मतलब बहुत सी ऐसी कलेक्शन थी. एंड देन ही गिव्स वन मोर एग्जांपल that President Roosevelt collected stamps too. You know, he says, you know this thing. He tells his friend psychiatrist and the others friends also who did not believe him that Roosevelt president was also in the habit of collecting stamps. And do you feel that he was having some problem? He was having some tension. He was in depressed mood. No, he feels he was very happy. He was leading a very good life. So according to him, this is not reasoning. This is not a good reasoning, that if one is having the hobby of collecting the things or stamp collections, the person wants to have an escape from the real world for some time. What is referred here as first day covers? Please note down this phrase, because this can be a question. It's given at the end also somewhere, or many times this question is asked. What it is a first day cover? You must try to understand that those people who are in the habit of collecting stamps, जिन लोगों को हैबिट होती है अपनी स्टैम्प्स कलेक्टिंग की, पुराने टाइम पे क्या करते थे वो लोग, दे बाय द स्टैम्प्स ऑन द वेरी फर्स्ट डे व्हेन इट वाज इशूड. कि जब भी कोई नई स्टैम्प जो थी वो रिलीज होती थी, उनका माइंड क्या होता था, इतने वो पैशनेट होते थे इस चीज़ के लिए कि वो ऑन द वेरी फर्स्ट डे दे शुड हैव दैट स्टैम्प इन देयर कलेक्शन, जिसको वो ऐड करे अपनी कलेक्शन में. तो वो क्या करते थे, दे जस्ट बाय द स्टैम्प्स, खुद वो स्टैम्प खरीद लेते थे, एंड देन दे पुट इट दैट स्टैम्प इन एन एनवेल्प विद ब्लैंक पेपर, एम्प्टी पेपर डालकर, जैसे कि कोई लेटर डाल रहा है, तो ऐसे एनवेल्प के अंदर एक खाली पेज डाल दिया और उसके अंदर वो स्टैम्प्स डाल दी, and then they mail that envelope to their own address. They mail that envelope to themselves only. अपने आप को ही वो मेल कर लेते थे वो envelope. और क्या होता था, उसके ऊपर पोस्ट ऑफिस की स्टैंप आ जाती थी, बाहर डेट आ जाती थी. हम कोई भी लेटर भेजते हैं उसके ऊपर पोस्ट ऑफिस की स्टैंप लगती है ना, जिसके ऊपर डेट मेंशन होती है कि किस डेट को वो लेटर जो है वो वहाँ पर डिलीवर की गई या मेल में डाली गई. और So in this way, they had the record in their collection, the date, on which date the stamp was issued. So they keep that envelope in their collection. They never try to open it because they knew this thing that it has been posted by themselves only, and nothing was written inside. There is no letter inside. So they used to keep it as a record in their collection of stamps, which was called as first day covers. That envelope was called as first day covers. I think it is clear to you. The first day cover reveals that when a new stamp is issued, the stamp collectors buy that stamp and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of the sale. पहले दिन जब वो टिकट बेची गई उसी दिन वो अपना एनवेलप जो थे तैयार कर लेते थे अपना एड्रेस लिख के और खुद ही उसको अपने एड्रेस के ऊपर मेल कर लेते थे. द न्यू स्टैम्प गेट्स द पोस्ट मार्क एंड द डेट. पोस्ट ऑफिस की स्टैम्प लग जाती थी, उसके ऊपर डेट लग जाती थी, एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड द फर्स्ट डे कवर. एंड द रिसीवर जो खुद मेल कर रहा है, कलेक्टर है जो, वो अपने आप को मेल कर रहा है, वो रिसीवर है इसका, खुद ही रिसीव कर रहा है, खुद ही मेल कर रहा है. द रिसीवर नेवर ओपन्स इट because he knows that he has himself just put a blank paper in it. And in our story we found that Charlie, our main character, also found a first day cover in his collection from his friend Sam, psychiatrist friend, that you will come to know at the end of the story when we'll continue with the story. So I think I hope this term first day cover is clear to you all, that it is the stamp that they buy on the very first day. Coming to the next part. Anyway, here is what happened at Grand Central. Now he is going to explain to you his visit on the Grand Central station, that is called as the third level. अब वो क्या कह रहा है हमें? He is explaining, क्योंकि कोई मान नहीं ना रहा, तो he is explaining each and everything, what he saw there, what he did there, जो कुछ उसने वहाँ देखा, जो कुछ उसने करा, he is going to explain us so that we should believe what happened with him and how he visited that third level. He is going to explain so that the readers could uh, know about it, and they should believe on the thing that he had visited. So please go for the lines from the second paragraph on page 2nd. Anyway, here is what happened at Grand Central Station. That means I'm going to explain to you what happened on the Grand Central Station. One night last summer, I worked late at the office. He's going to explain to you the summertime when one night he was working in his office till late time and he was in hurry to reach home. I was in a hurry to get uptown to my apartment, and because he was late, he was working till late, so he was in hurry to leave that apartment, his office, and go home. So I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because it is faster than the bus. और उसने क्या डिसाइड करा? That he will take the subway. Subway means the underground passage. जैसे अंडरग्राउंड पैसेजेस बने होते हैं ना, तो उसको लगा जैसे फ्लाईओवर बनता है तो उसके नीचे अंडरग्राउंड वे है, तो उसको लगा कि जो सबवे पैसेज है ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन के ऊपर, दैट इज फास्टर देन द बस, कि अगर वो बस लेता है तो उसको टाइम ज़्यादा लग जाएगा. सो ही डिसाइडेड टू टेक द सबवे फ्रॉम ग्रैंड सेंट्रल, कि उसने सोचा ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन से वो ट्रेन लेगा और अंडरग्राउंड पैसेज से वो ट्रेन जो है वो उसको जल्दी घर पहुंचा देगी, बिकॉज ही वॉज लेट, ही वॉज वर्किंग टिल लेट. Now, I don't know why this should have happened to me. I don't know why it happened to me, why it should have happened to me कि उसने ऐसा सोचा. I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie. Now see, he is giving his introduction. अपने बारे में बता दें. Please note down these lines if you are to ask or if you are to explain who was Charlie and why he considered himself as an ordinary guy. Please note down the answer of this question. Who was Charlie and why did he consider himself as an ordinary guy? We are going to read the lines which will give you the answer of this question. He says, I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie. As the writer's name is given, Jack Finney. He giving a name to himself as a character of the story, Charlie. And he is 31 years old. He says, I'm an ordinary guy. My name is Charlie and I'm 31 years old. And I was wearing a tan gabardine suit and a straw hat with a fancy band. अपना ड्रेसअप बता रहा है कि उस टाइम पे वो कैसे ड्रेसअप था. He was wearing a tan gabardine suit. What is gabardine? Gabardine is a cloth. Tan means cloth. Gabardine एक thick cloth होता है that soaks water. पानी को जल्दी सोख लेता है. And he was wearing that suit, a straw hat and a fancy band. स्ट्रिप लगी हुई थी उसकी हैट के ऊपर, फैंसी बैंड बना हुआ था उसकी हैट के ऊपर, दैट ही वाज वेयरिंग. स्ट्रॉ मींस तिनकों से, जैसे सूखे ड्राई तिनके नहीं होते घास, उससे बनी हुई एक हैट थी विच वाज फैंसी वन. आई पास्ड अ डजन मैन हु लुक्ड जस्ट लाइक मी and he crossed many people there. He went at the Grand Central Station, that was subway passage, underground passage, and he told us that he passed a dozen men, near about a dozen people passed him who looked just like him, जो कि उसी की तरह के लग रहे थे. And I was not trying to escape from anything. He was not trying to escape from anything. किसी चीज से बचने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा था, because उसके माइंड में ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि वो कुछ नई जगह पर घूम रहा है. उसको लगा कि थर्ड लेवल है ये स्टेशन का, and he was going to have a train from that. I just wanted to get home to Lucia. Lucia, my wife, the name of his wife, please note down, underline the name of his wife, can be short question. And there was nothing in his mind. He only wanted to reach to his home and meet his wife, Lucia, who must be waiting for him because he was late on that day. So there was nothing in his mind. I turned into Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue and went down the steps to the first level where you take trains like the 20th century. और क्या सोच रहा है, कहता कि मैं कुछ भी मेरे माइंड में नहीं था ऐसा. आई जस्ट टर्न्ड इनटू ग्रैंड सेंट्रल फ्रॉम वेंडरबिल्ट एवेन्यू. वेंडरबिल्ट एवेन्यू इज द नेम ऑफ अ बिग स्ट्रीट हियर. एक बहुत बड़ी वहाँ पर स्ट्रीट है, पैसेज है. और वहाँ से कहता मैं जो था नीचे की तरफ गया, स्टेप्स की तरफ, फर्स्ट लेवल पर. आई टर्न इनटू Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue and went down the steps to the first level. वहाँ से steps ली और first level पर पहुँच गया. Where you take trains like the 20th century, और वहाँ पर 20th century की trains जो थी वो मिलती थी. So he wanted to have a train, and from that passage he went to the first level. Then I walked down another flight to the second level. वहाँ से उसने फिर फ्लाइट ली, और दैट मीन्स वो फिर से चढ़ा स्टेप्स और सेकंड लेवल पर पहुंच गया. वेयर द सबर्बन ट्रेन्स लीव फ्रॉम, ducked into an arched doorway heading for the subway and got lost. और क्या सोचता है कि उस सेकंड लेवल पे कैसी ट्रेन्स थी? सबर्बन ट्रेन्स, जो कि आउटर एरियाज पे चलती हैं, आउटर एरियाज वाली ट्रेन्स थी. ऐसी ट्रेन्स वहां से चलती हैं. एंड दे डक्ड इनटू एन आर्क डोरवे, और वो कहाँ से क्रॉस करती हैं? वहां पर एक आर्क एरिया था. आर्क होता है राउंड शेप में, बेंट था, बेंट जैसे पुल सा कोई बना होता है, ब्रिज सा बना होता है, ऐसे आर्क शेप में डोरवे था, पैसेज था. and those trains pass from that and then they got lost, means disappear हो जाती थी वहां से. That's easy to do. I have been in and out of Grand Central hundreds of times. उसको लगा ये easy रास्ता था, कोई problem नहीं थी, because he has been to that way many times, hundreds of times. बहुत बार वो first level से होकर second level पर पहुंचता था, जहां पर भी suburban trains मिलती थी. But I am always bumping into new doorways and stairs and corridors. बहुत बार वो वहां गया, लेकिन आज वो क्या नोट कर रहा है कि जब वो वहां पहुंचता है तो ही वॉज बम्पिंग, मीन स्ट्राइकिंग विद द न्यू डोरवेज. उसको लग रहा था कोई दरवाजे, जो रास्ते थे वो नए थे. एंड स्टेयर्स एंड कॉरिडोर्स, न्यू स्टेयर्स, ही वॉज एबल टू फाइंड न्यू कॉरिडोर्स, लॉन्ग पैसेजेस जो बने हुए थे, दे वर ऑल्सो न्यू फॉर हिम. उसको लग रहा था आज नया रास्ता वो कोई देख रहा है. वंस आई गॉट इनटू अ टनल about a mile long and came out in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel. और क्या हुआ उसके साथ? उसको लगा कि वो एक टनल के अंदर एंटर कर गया वहां से, because he was finding some new doorways and stairs and corridors, and he found himself entered into a tunnel. Tunnel, you understand, जैसे सुरंग सी बनी होती है, और उसके बीच में जो कि अंडरग्राउंड पैसेजेस बने होते हैं, और दैट वाज अ माइल लॉन्ग, एक मील लंबी थी. और उसको लगा कि when he entered into that tunnel he came out in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel. और वो बाहर कहाँ से निकला? There was a hotel named Roosevelt, और उसकी आगे बाहर फ्रंट पे लॉबी बनी हुई थी, and that was the way out from that tunnel. तो उसको लगा जब वो टनल में एंटर कर गया and he came out That was the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel from where he was coming out. Another time I came up in an office building on 46th Street, 3 blocks away. Again, he entered somewhere and he tried to come out. And second time, what happened with him? He came out from an office building that was on 46th street, 3 blocks away. 3 block की दूरी पर एक ऑफिस बिल्डिंग थी 46th स्ट्रीट नंबर पे. he came out of that building. मतलब उसको रास्ता नहीं मिल रहा था बाहर निकलने का. he entered from the second level to some new doorways or to some new passages, and he thought that he had entered into a tunnel, and when he came out it was the lobby of Roosevelt Hotel. Then again he tried to find out the way out from that to reach to the third level and to get the train, and he found that he reached to some office building that was on 46th Street, 3 blocks away from that way. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree. And then an idea came into his mind. Please underline this line. Why he thought like that? That this central station, Grand Central Station, is growing like a tree, pushing out new corridors and staircases like roots. और उसके जो नए कॉरिडोर्स, नए स्टेयर केसेस, नए दरवाजे उसको नजर आ रहे थे वहां पर. ही फेल्ट ऑल दोज एज रूट्स. कि जो ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन है एक बहुत बड़े पेड़ की तरह है, बहुत बड़े दरवाजे ट्री की तरह है, और उसके जो जितने भी उसको नए कॉरिडोर्स, स्टेयर केसेस या पैसेजेस, कुछ डोर्स नजर आ रहे थे, ही फेल्ट ऑल एज रूट्स, जैसे वो पेड़ की जड़ें हों. प्लीज अंडरलाइन दिस बिकॉज समटाइम्स दिस लाइन कम एज अ क्वेश्चन, that why that station was considered as a tree by him and to what he considered as the roots that were the new doorways or the stairs or the passages that he was looking for. There is probably long tunnel that nobody knows about, feeling its way under the city right now on its way to Times Square and maybe another to Central Park. सी इज थिंकिंग वॉट ही थॉट इन हिज माइंड कि शायद यहाँ पर एक बहुत लंबी टनल है, लॉन्ग टनल है, पैसेज अंडरग्राउंड बना हुआ है, दैट नोबडी नोज, जो कि किसी को भी नहीं पता. एंड अबाउट फीलिंग इट्स वे अंडर द सिटी राइट नाउ, और वो क्या फील कर रहा था कि इसका रास्ता जो है वो सिटी के अंडरग्राउंड होगा. एंड ही वॉज ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट दैट वे ऑन इट्स वे टू टाइम्स स्क्वायर एंड मे बी अनदर टू सेंट्रल पार्क. और उसको लगा कि जब वो बाहर निकला, फिर से थर्ड अटेम्प्ट ही मेड टू कम आउट, and he found the way to Times Square. It is again the name of the place given, Times Square. You can see the capital, first letter capital, Times and Square, T and S capital. So it's the name of a place or the street where he came out. And the second passage may lead to Central Park. उसको लगा कि एक रास्ता इसका आगे जो है टाइम स्क्वायर की तरफ निकलता है, और दूसरा रास्ता, दूसरा पैसेज जो है that goes to Central Park. And maybe because for so many people through the years, Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape, maybe that's how the tunnel I got into. तो अब उसको क्या लग रहा था कि ये रास्ता जो है, बहुत से लोग जो है शायद इस रास्ते पर आए हों, ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन के लेवल पर आए हों, एंड दैट पैसेज माइट हैव बीन एन एग्जिट फॉर देम. एग्जिट क्या होता है? द आउटगोइंग पॉइंट. एंट्री पॉइंट नहीं होता ना, एंट्री का अपोजिट आउटलेट पॉइंट. जैसे आप थिएटर में जाते हो तो कई डोर्स के आगे लिखा होता है ना एंट्री, और कुछ पे लिखा होता है एग्जिट. तो दिस इज आउटलेट पॉइंट. तो वो क्या सोचता है कि दिस मे बी एन एग्जिट पॉइंट फॉर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ पीपल, फॉर मेनी ऑफ द पीपल, एंड देन ही कंसिडर्ड दैट इट माइट बी अ वे ऑफ एस्केप. बचने का रास्ता है, मतलब इस टनल से निकलने का रास्ता होगा. मे बी दैट इज हाउ द टनल आई गॉट इनटू, और शायद ऐसा ही मेरे साथ हुआ है. देन ही स्टार्टेड कंपेयरिंग हिमसेल्फ विद अदर पीपल कि शायद द सेम हैपेंड विद मी, दैट ही एंटर्ड इनटू द टनल and he got into, and now he was not able to find out the way. But I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. लेकिन इस आइडिया के बारे में, जो आइडिया उसके माइंड में आया कि बहुत से लोग इस टनल के बीच में फंस जाते होंगे, क्योंकि उसके कई रास्ते हैं. एक बार वो निकला तो रूजवेल्ट होटल की लॉबी में निकला. सेकेंड टाइम ही ट्राई टू कम आउट and he reached to the 46th street, 3 blocks away from that in the office building. Then again he tried and he found the two ways out. And according to him, one way leads to Times Square and the other way leads to Central Park. और उसको लगा कि this is a tunnel that is underground in the city area, and people might have gone under this, and it had been an exit for the people, for a way to escape from that area. But he did not tell this to his psychiatrist friend when he told about his visit to the third level. अपने friend को इसके बारे में नहीं बताता कि उसका tunnel का experience कैसा रहा. He is telling us only, not to his psychiatrist friend. He did not tell. The corridor I was in began angling left and slanting downward. आगे वो हमें और explanation दे रहा है उस corridor के बारे में, उस passage के बारे में कि उसको क्या feel हुआ. The corridor I was in, जिस corridor में वो था, कहता मुझे लगा that began angling left and slanting downward. क्या लग रहा था उसको कि it was turning to the left side and it was having slope, slanting downward, slope बनी हुई थी इसकी downward area में. And I thought I was wrong. उसको क्या लगा? I thought that was wrong. उसको लगा कि ये गलत रास्ते पर कहीं आ गया है. But I kept on walking. लेकिन अब कोई और रास्ता नहीं था, जो भी उसको रास्ता नजर आ रहा था, he kept on walking on that. But he realized that he had reached to some wrong area, wrong place. All I could hear was the empty sound of my own footsteps, and I did not pass a soul. मैंने कहता ये रियलाइज करा कि वहां पर कोई भी ऐसा नहीं था. जब वो एंटर करा तो उसको डजन के करीब लोग मिले थे जो कि उसके जैसे थे, वैसे ही ड्रेसअप थे, उसको कुछ ऐसा डिफरेंट नहीं लगा, उसके माइंड में कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं थी. ही डिड नॉट हैव एनी डाउट इन हिज माइंड. But now he felt that he had entered into some wrong place, and he could hear only the footsteps of his own feet. अपने पैरों की ही आवाज, साउंड जो थी उसको सुनाई दे रही थी, उसको कोई साउंड और नहीं सुनाई दे रही थी, जैसे आसपास कोई नहीं था. And he thought he did not find any person passing from that area. I did not pass a soul means did not find any person. किसी को उसने देखा नहीं उस एरिया में घूमते हुए. He was all alone. Then I heard that sort of hollow roar ahead. That means open space. तब सडनली उसको क्या लगा? हॉलो रोर, खाली जगह पे जब आप बोलते हो तो आपकी आवाज रोर करती है ना, गूंजती है, इको साउंड जैसे आती है. He felt that. उसको लगा कि उसकी अपनी ही साउंड जो है रोर कर रही है. हॉलो स्पेस थी, खाली ओपन एरिया था. And people talking. तब उसको लगा कि कुछ लोग वहां बोल रहे हैं जिनकी आवाज जो है वहां इको कर रही हो. The tunnel turned sharp left. फिर उसने क्या देखा कि उसकी टनल जो है वो लेफ्ट साइड पे एक शार्प टर्न मोड़ आ गया है, मुड़ जाती है लेफ्ट साइड पे. I went down a short flight of stairs and came out on the third level at Grand Central Station. And he felt that when he came down the steps, उसने वहाँ steps थी जिस steps को उसने नीचे उतरा उन steps से, and he reached to the third level at the Grand Central Station. He felt like that. For just a moment I thought I was back on the second level. लेकिन फिर से उसको क्या realize हुआ कि वो शायद दोबारा second level पे पहुंच गया था. But I saw the room was smaller. There were fewer ticket windows and train gates, and the information booth in the center was wood and old looking. Please note down this description which he is giving about the second level, that it was different from that which he had already crossed. कि जब वो second level cross करके third level पर पहुंचा था तो उसको ऐसा नहीं लगा था कि उसने ऐसे कोई रूम्स या ऐसे कोई टिकट विंडो वहां देखी थी. इट वॉज न्यू फॉर हिम. एक मिनट के लिए उसको लगा तो सही कि वो सेकंड लेवल पे है, लेकिन जब वो वहाँ कोई रूम्स देखता है या टिकट विंडो देखता है, ट्रेन के गेट्स देखता है या इंफॉर्मेशन बूथ देखता है, तो उसको लगता है कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं था सेकंड लेवल पे. दिस वॉज न्यू फॉर हिम. बट आई सॉ द रूम वॉज स्मॉलर. क्या देखता है कि यहाँ पर रूम्स जो थे वो छोटे थे. देयर वर फ्यूअर टिकट विंडोज भी कम थी, काउंटिंग में कम थी, गिनती में. एंड ट्रेन गेट्स एंड द इंफॉर्मेशन बूथ इन द सेंटर वॉज वुड. और जो इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर बना हुआ था, बूथ बना हुआ था स्टेशन पे, आपने देखा ना वहाँ इंक्वायरी सेंटर होता है, इंफॉर्मेशन जहाँ से आप कुछ भी ले सकते हो, दैट वॉज मेड ऑफ वुड एंड ओल्ड लुकिंग. और ऐसे लग रहा था जैसे पुराने फैशन के अकॉर्डिंगली बना हुआ था. And the man in the booth wore a green eye shade and a long black sleeve protectors. पर क्या देखता है कि इस बूथ के अंदर जो आदमी बैठा हुआ था, in that information booth, he was wearing green eye shade and long black sleeve protector. लॉन्ग ब्लैक कलर की, उसने अपनी बाजू को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए कुछ गार्ड से ऐसे कपड़े पहने हुए थे, दैट ही वाज प्रोटेक्टिंग हिज बॉडी. द लाइट्स वर डिम एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ फ्लिकरिंग. और लाइट्स कैसी थी? दे वर डिम, बहुत अच्छी लाइट नहीं थी, एंड दे वर फ्लिकरिंग, जैसे लैंप लाइट्स होती हैं, फ्लिकर कर रही हैं. देन आई सॉ व्हाई दे वर ओपन फ्लेम गैस लाइट्स. तब उसको रियलाइज हुआ कि ये ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, बिकॉज ही हैड सीन द फ्लेम ऑफ गैस लाइट्स ऑलरेडी ऑन द स्टेशन. तो ऐसा क्यों है कि आज जो लाइट्स हैं दे वर नॉट हैविंग प्रॉपर गैस लाइट, दे वर फ्लिकरिंग ओनली. तो उसको कुछ डिफरेंट सा लगा on that level where he had reached. So he found a little bit different things. The rooms were smaller, the information booth was different, and in this way he was in doubt. So I'm finishing here because we are left with 1 minute only. If you have any doubt, you can ask.